Was the man who interrogated Lee Harvey Oswald on the verge of cracking him? And did the government pull the plug on the Dallas police investigation of the Kennedy assassination? Good evening, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. We'll have more on those very compelling questions in just a moment. But first tonight, an offer GM may not be able to refuse. He was one of the nation's most skilled and diligent homicide investigators, Dallas Police Captain Will Fritz, the man who led his department's investigation of the Kennedy assassination. Tonight, there are new allegations that Fritz, who reportedly was close to cracking the case against Lee Harvey Oswald, was ordered by the government to stop his investigation. Texas News 5's Bob Serkin joins us tonight with the story, with more on that and how Fritz may have left revealing notes and even tape recordings of his interrogation of Lee Harvey Oswald. Some people may find this disturbing.
Jane, no question about it, Fritz had many friends and admirers out there, but few really knew him. He was secretive about his work and his private life. Fritz was revered for being a master investigator and interrogator who could make anyone talk. A tough, no-nonsense detective who served 49 years and grilled the most famous suspect in the world. Will Fritz died in 1984 at age 88. Going to his grave, say some friends and associates, frustrated and haunted by his investigation of the Kennedy assassination. This was Fritz, moments after Jack Ruby murdered Lee Harvey Oswald in the basement of the Dallas Police Department on November 24th, 1963.
Are you absolutely sure that Oswald was the assassin of the president? Yes, sir. No question about it.
Some of those who knew him well tell us Fritz was close to cracking the case against Oswald. Then he got a demanding call from the White House.
I always thought he got called directly from Johnson.
Telling him to stop the investigation?
Just keep quiet.
So why would the government want to stop Fritz? Internationally renowned Kennedy researcher Mary Farrell thinks the government was fearful of the impact of Fritz's evidence.
They were afraid that if it became known that it was a Castro plot, it would cause a war to start, or a Russian plot. And the best thing to do was shut it up right there.
Fritz was not only forced to end his interrogation of Oswald, he was ordered by Chief Jesse Curry and the FBI to turn over all physical evidence, including Oswald's rifle. Former Detective Jim Lavelle, who was handcuffed to Oswald when he was shot, says Fritz was incensed.
They turned beet red for one thing, and he said, no, we need to keep it here. And Curry finally said, Cat, he said, that's a direct order. We are going to release it to the FBI.
Did Fritz, who was famous for his photographic memory, record his thoughts, or more importantly, make any notes while questioning Oswald? Fritz, who testified before the Warren Commission 3 times, was asked by Joseph Ball, do you remember what you said to Oswald and what he said to you? Fritz, I will have trouble telling you which period of questioning those questions were in because I kept no notes at the time. But in this affidavit to the Warren Commission, a contradiction by Dallas Postal Inspector Harry Holmes, who sat in on Oswald's final interrogation. Holmes, recalling Oswald's anger over Fritz's repeated questions, quotes Oswald as shouting, "You took notes, just read them for yourself if you want to refresh your memory." There are questions about tape recordings Fritz may have made of the Oswald interrogation. At least one former Dallas police detective says he helped install secret microphones for that purpose. Jane?
If there are tapes and notes, where are they?
No one knows. Some people have told us they thought that Fritz may have had a secret lockbox in a bank and may have left notes and tapes, but that can't be confirmed. And our efforts to try and talk to Fritz's widow and only daughter have so far proved futile.
You said, in fact, she was frightened to talk with you.
Very frightened, very frightened.
Thank you, Bob. Interesting report. By the way, coming up at 10 tonight, Mike Snyder will report on some new evidence involving the Warren Commission. That's at 10 tonight.